Are you doing the pantry challenge for the month of January and the month of February? How's it going for you? So far, it's been going good for us. We have gone to the store and bought a few things each week so far in this month of January. But that's okay. I expected I was going to do that anyway. Hello, family. Welcome back. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Vicki, and you are with Gravy in the Kitchen. So this video is 3 days of meals starting on Friday night, all day Saturday, and all day Sunday. And of course, anything left over from Sunday's dinner will go into Monday. Not a problem. We love leftovers. So are you doing the pantry challenge? I hope you have the food security where you can go a month without going to the grocery store and buying all the things all the time. You have food on your pantry shelves, you have food in your freezer, you can make meals. Now we did go to the store every weekend for the month of January buying a few things. At the end of the month, when I do my tally for the whole month, I will tell you what we bought, when we bought it, and how much we spent each week. But this week, we did go to the store and get a few things. One of the meals we're having tacos. I do not have taco shells in my house. Did not feel like making flour tortillas, so we bought the things. And then I wanted some garlic bread. Yes, I can make bread, and I can make garlic bread from that bread. I just didn't feel like it. So we did buy a loaf of the French style bread from the grocery store. And we picked up a dozen of eggs just to make sure we had enough eggs for the husband to have his hard-boiled eggs for work. Plus we got our eggs from our local farm. Not counting my raw milk and my fresh eggs that I get every week. But we spent $9.39 this week on a few things we needed for the meals. So stick around, it's going to be a great video. So the first meal we're going to make is going to be a tomato bisque soup. So in the Dutch oven, I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil. We're going to heat that up. We're going to saute some onions, carrots, and celery. So we have one of our frozen onions going in, and about a cup's worth of carrots and a cup of celery. Just go ahead and add some salt and pepper. We're going to saute this for about 10 minutes. I'm throwing frozen onions everywhere. I'll see you back here in about 10 minutes. I don't want to open a quart-sized jar of chicken stock for just 2 cups. So I'm just going to make a vegetable stock with this vegetable bone broth. So I'm going to put maybe 3 tablespoons of this vegetable powdered bone broth with 2 cups of water. I'm going to whisk that really well. Between this and the heavy cream I took out of the freezer, it's all the liquid we need, plus with the juices from the tomatoes. The vegetables has been sauteing for about 10 minutes. I'm going to add a garlic puck. Saute that until I can start smelling the aroma of the garlic. I'm going to add a good tablespoon of this Italian dressing mix. It's got delicious flavor. Let's add our broth. and two 14.5-ounce cans of diced tomatoes. And we're just going to bring this to a simmer before we go any further. But it's already looking good. It's a delicious vegetable soup, just like that. Now we just want to simmer this soup until all those vegetables are nice and soft, because we're actually going to put the stick blender in there and give it a good puree. I'm going to give it about 30 minutes. Then we'll check the carrots and the celery and the onions, make sure they're ready to be pureed. Let's taste it for salt and pepper. Wow. That tastes so good right there. That is not where we want it. We're going to continue to cook it and make a delicious tomato bisque, which is basically a creamy tomato soup. Serve this with some grilled cheese. Oh, it's like adult childhood. Let's test a carrot. Ooh, it is hot. It's splashing me. All right, let's test a carrot. That is soft enough. I'm going to turn the burner off for safety. I have the stick blender. Let's go ahead and start blending it. Turn it down low. I'm going to try to get it as smooth as possible. All right, I think that looks good. I'm going to turn the burner back on. And I have a pint of heavy cream. Not really sure how much of this I'm going to need. I'm thinking at least half of this. Yep, 1 cup. That is perfect. I'll put this in the refrigerator because I'm planning on having fettuccine alfredo one day this weekend also. But that already looks delicious. I have some Parmesan cheese, and this is the last of the Parmesan cheese we have already grated. We're going to have to grate some Parmesan cheese soon. I want to put a good 1 cup in here. I'm eyeballing it. That's just going to add another depth of flavor. And we are done. How easy was that? Ingredients we already have in our house. Ingredients we have in our pantry. We were able to throw it all together and have a delicious homemade tomato soup. And it's beautiful and it's delicious. Look at that, family. So gorgeous. Serve this with a grilled cheese sandwich. Oh, yummy. A little bit of more Parmesan cheese right there on top. If you have some fresh basil, chop it up and put it in there. It's the middle of the winter. We don't have fresh basil. Some tomato soup. It's hot. If you like tomato soup as a kid, my mom in the winter, when she didn't make a big pot of soup, which she made soup often, we always had a can of tomato soup. So she would make the tomato soup, make us a grilled cheese sandwich, the perfect winter lunch. This is the adult version. That was meal number 1 on this weekend of meals. Tomorrow's gonna be even better. Stick around. I'll see you tomorrow. The soup was delicious, by the way. If you've never made homemade tomato soup, you've got to try it. It is so easy and so good. Last night before I went to bed, I went ahead and took out 2 packs of 3-count French toast out of the freezer, stuck them in the refrigerator. That's what we're having for breakfast. So I have parchment paper lined bacon sheet. I have the oven preheating to 350 degrees. So the French toast will go in the oven for about 5-7 minutes. Then we'll turn them and cook them for additional 5 or 7 minutes. And then we're ready to eat. Simple, easy, frozen, ready to heat and eat French toast. For lunch today, we're just gonna have a grilled cheese with the leftover tomato soup. And for dinner, I went ahead and took out a few things from the freezer. I took out 2 pounds of ground turkey, a can of green chilies, and a can of diced tomatoes. We're gonna make Mexican style rice. Then I went ahead and took out a can of refried beans, because we like to do, like the famous taco store, fast food restaurant, a double decker where you have the soft tacos, refried beans, hard taco, and all your fillings. I did have to go to the store and pick up a few things, but I'm counting this as part of our expenses during the pantry challenge. More into that tonight when we cook dinner. Right now, we're just waiting on breakfast. Grab you a cup of coffee, a hot tea, or a beverage of your choice, and I'll see you back in about 6 minutes when we're ready to flip those French toast. Cheers, family. Right, so they've been in the oven for 7 minutes. Just going to give them a flip. Back in the oven for another 7 minutes. And just like that, we have breakfast. That's for the husband. And that's mine. Put a little bit of maple syrup. It's got a really nice crispy to it, being in the oven, heating up, and just putting a good crisp on the outside of this French toast. This is why I like having ready to heat and eat meals, Especially like today, I got a busy day in the kitchen. But at least we have a good, healthy, homemade, ready to heat and eat French toast. It's perfect. This is our lunch, our leftover tomato soup with a little bit of Parmesan cheese on top, and a grilled cheese sandwich. Ooh, look at the ooey gooey of the cheese. Yummy. And I like to take my cheese, cut them into thirds so that they're perfect dunking. Family, this is going to be good. It's going to be hot, but it's going to be good. That is so good. You really got to try this soup. All right, so let me finish my lunch and I'll bring you back when we're ready to make dinner. So tonight we're going to have tacos with Spanish rice. We went to the store yesterday. The husband had to get a few things he needed for work. Picked up 2 packs of 12 hard taco shells. Plus I have a pack of 20 flour tortillas. We're going to make the rice in the Instant Pot. This is my chicken broth powder, and I have 2 cups of water. I'm going to add a couple tablespoons. Put that in the Instant Pot insert. Have a cup of rice. We have a can of diced green chilies. And a can of diced tomatoes. I need to fill my salt container. Pinch of salt. A good pinch of pepper. Some homemade taco seasoning. Maybe about a tablespoon. And 1 cup of water. Now we're going to put this in the Instant Pot and hit the rice button. We have a stainless steel pot over medium heat. I'm going to add some avocado oil because I am cooking ground turkey. Ground turkey is very lean. So we're just going to brown this meat. Then we'll add our spices and some tomato paste and a dash of water. So I went ahead and drained all the fat off of our ground turkey. Let's go ahead and add 2 tablespoons, heaping tablespoons of tomato paste. We're going to add some taco seasoning. To your taste. We like a lot of taco seasoning. And about a half a cup of water. And if it's not loosened enough, add a little bit more water. If it's too loose, just let it cook and that water will evaporate. We're going to taste it, see if it needs any more taco seasoning or salt or pepper. Oh, that is perfect. We don't need to add anything to it. Alright, so the taco meat is done. I got the cast iron griddle. It's hot. Because I do want to warm up the flour tortillas. So I have a plate with a dish towel, a clean dish towel. Put these 3 on here, cover them up, and repeat. Let's taste the rice to make sure it's done. Perfect. Oh, perfectly seasoned. Let me show you how to make a beautiful double-decker. Some cheddar cheese. Gotta have cheese with our tacos. Right, so we get one of our warm flour tortillas. We'll put a little bit of refried beans right here on the tortilla. Smear it all the way to the edge. And you take a hard tortillas, some of our delicious taco filling. Now we're just going to repeat. Some cheddar cheese. And some rice. Let me hand this to the husband. Let's make our plate. And then you can put tomatoes, lettuce, hot peppers, some salsa, whatever you like on your tacos. We just like them simple with just meat and cheese. So our Spanish style rice, let's taste that. It is so good. Simple ingredients. And the double-decker taco. If you haven't had it with the refried beans and the both flour and corn tortillas, make that your next go-to when you have tacos. In the description below, I'm going to have the recipe to my taco seasoning. You know we buy our spices in bulk from Azure Standard, so having the spices to make taco seasoning is really easy if you have the ingredients. And it's a cleaner taco season. And whatever we don't eat tonight, we'll save for lunch tomorrow. All right, can't wait to share tomorrow's dinner with you. It's gonna be just as good. So breakfast was just a French toast with the sausage. You saw the video we did yesterday with the French toast. Did the same thing, but we put the sausage links in the oven also. Lunch was the leftover tacos. That is so good. It was so yummy with that rice, delicious. But now it's time to make dinner. And tonight we're gonna have fettuccine alfredo with garlic bread. I did have to buy a loaf of bread. Let's get started on this bread. And then at the end of the video, I'll explain what we spent at the grocery store this week during the pantry challenge. First thing we're gonna do is get our bread ready for garlic bread. I do not need this whole loaf for just 2 people. So we're just gonna do half. We'll save this for a future date. You can freeze bread. It will be just fine. Let's split it open. We're just gonna put a good smear of softened butter on there. I have some garlic powder. Just gonna sprinkle a little bit of that on there, as much or as little as you like. We like garlic. Wrap it up with aluminum foil, and we'll put this in the oven for about 5 to 10 minutes to melt that butter and get that garlic all in there. And then we'll open it up, open the bread, and toast it for about another 5 minutes. So we're just gonna set this aside. On the stove, I do have a pot of water coming to a boil. Went ahead and measured out 10 ounces of fettuccine. That is perfect for the husband and I. You know, we got our pasta on sale when Kroger was having buy 10 pounds of pasta or 10 boxes for $10. So we've got fettuccine. Went ahead and cubed some chicken breast. This is the last chicken breast we had in our freezer, but that's okay. We've got plenty of chicken. So I'm just waiting for this water to come to a boil. I'll add salt, put the pasta in there, drain it, then we'll move on making that delicious chicken alfredo. So the pasta is cooked a little bit past al dente, but not soggy. So that's in the sink draining. In the same pot, we're gonna go ahead and start cooking our chicken. So a little bit of olive oil. Let's go ahead and add some salt and pepper to our chicken. This is just about a little bit more than a pound of chicken breast that I just cut up into cubes. And then we're just going to brown this chicken, not to completely done, but almost done. Now, if you've been around and watched my cooking, I don't follow a recipe for Alfredo sauce. Sometimes I'll put some minced garlic in there. Sometimes I'll put garlic powder in there. It just really depends on what I feel like that day. Today, we're actually going to be adding a little bit of onion powder and a little bit of garlic powder. We're not adding fresh, or in my case, frozen garlic pucks. But that's okay. I like switching things around. It's going to have the main ingredients such as the fettuccine, the chicken, and the heavy cream, and the Parmesan cheese. But as for the herbs and spices, I like switching it up. Sometimes I'll put Italian season in there, but today we're going to take Barbara's advice, that's my oldest daughter, and use the Italian dressing mix. Family, it is so good. Thank you, Barbara, for giving us that tip. So we want to make sure that we get all the pizzas nice and brown. This is a good recipe to use leftover chicken. If you made a chicken dinner, you have some leftover whole chicken, or you fried some chicken, or you grilled some chicken, doesn't really matter, and you have leftovers, this is a perfect recipe for leftover chicken. Even that store-bought rotisserie chicken. I have a huge peppercorn in here. Let me get that out. That didn't grind up. Go ahead and get the oven preheating to 350 degrees. All right, that is all we want to do with the chicken. Let's go ahead and remove it. Now the chicken is not done. We are not finished with the chicken. It is just brown all the way around it. No pink on the outside. It's going to continue to cook in the sauce and just add some delicious flavor to our sauce. Let's add about a tablespoon of butter. And an additional tablespoon of olive oil. We're going to add a pinch of pepper, a good pinch of salt, a half teaspoon of garlic powder, and a half teaspoon of onion powder. This is our Italian dressing. We're going to add about a tablespoon of the Italian dressing, but you can use Italian seasoning, or you can just use a combination of oregano, basil, thyme, rosemary, whatever you like. So this is the leftover heavy cream from when we made our tomato bisque soup. We're going to add that in here. And then another pint of heavy cream. We're just going to warm that up. Then we'll add our Parmesan cheese. Taste it for salt and pepper. Once we get all that right, then we'll add the chicken back in. I have about a cup of grated Parmesan cheese. Perfect. We don't need to add any salt or pepper. It has a perfect balanced taste. Let's put our chicken back in. Perfect. Now we're just going to cook that for about 15-20 minutes, and we want to make sure that that chicken is done before we add the pasta. The oven is up to temperature. I'm going to go ahead and put the garlic bread in for about 5 minutes, and then we'll open it up and let it toast for another 5 minutes. Let's go ahead and add the cooked and drained fettuccine. And that is it. It is done. I'm going to turn the burner off. Put the lid back on. Let's check on the bread. Been in there for about 10 minutes. Just starting to get warm. Now I'm going to open it up and put it back in the oven just till all that butter melts and it gets just a little bit toasty. Family, look at that. It is so beautiful. Homemade Alfredo sauce is so simple. And the longer it sits, the thicker it gets. It'll take the starch from that pasta will mix into that Alfredo sauce and thicken it up. It's perfect. Now we're just waiting on the garlic bread. Oh, the garlic bread is perfect. Nice and toasted. Oh, gorgeous. You hear that crunch? Oh, that's good. Just to go ahead and scoop up a plate of this beautiful Alfredo, fettuccine, and chicken with some delicious Italian dressing mix. Oh, yummy. And a piece of garlic bread. We're going to find the perfect bite with some fettuccine and a piece of chicken. Family, that is so good. And our garlic bread. Has a nice crispiness on the outside. Bread is still soft and chewy. So I hope you enjoyed this video of 3-day breakfast, lunch, and dinner. If you don't mind, give this video a thumbs up. And while you're at it, please subscribe. I would love to have you part of the Grammy family. So this was just a pantry meal, plus a few items we had to pick up at the store. They're all homemade from scratch. Delicious, belly-filling, nutrient-dense meals. This is hashtag Pantry Challenge right there. Jessica puts this together every year. She does January and February. We only commit to January because we know we could do that. I am hoping one day I could do both January and February and not go to the store even for the little things that we have been buying so far this month. But until then, I'm committed to 1 month, just buying a few things just to get us through. Right over here, you're gonna see 2 videos. Go check those out until the next upload. They'll either inspire you to get into your kitchen or give you a chuckle. Either one is fine with me. Until next time, y'all have a blessed day. Bye, family. We did good. We did really good.